What is going on, you guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and tonight I've got some football focus. This video is late. It is a Sunday night football game. I'm talking about Steelers-Chargers, the Week 13 NFL matchup. And as all Steeler losses, this video is going to be quick. Man, I don't know how to take this one. We have looked really bad now for 3 consecutive weeks. Coming into the night's game, I was hyped up. I'm thinking, okay, we looked very bad in Jacksonville for the most part. They dominated us, and we found a way to win that game despite looking terrible. We came back last week in a game we should have won against Denver, looked bad and lost. And now we're coming out in prime time, playing against the Chargers. It's a big game with 2 powerhouse teams. We're playing at home. It's Sunday Night Football. We're coming off of 2 consecutive bad weeks and a loss. I was expecting big things out of the Steelers, and for the most part, for the first half, I got it. Believe it or not, we entered into the first half up 23-7. When you hear what the final score was, you'll be surprised if you didn't watch the game. We were up 23-7 at the end of the first half, and it should have actually been 30-0. Pittsburgh was up 23-7, but on the Chargers' long touchdown play, what happened was there was a false start that wasn't called that led to Mike Hilton being burnt by Travis Benjamin on a long touchdown play that shouldn't have happened because the whistle should have been rang, or should have been blown. The play should have been stopped, and shouldn't have happened. So the 7 points the Chargers had shouldn't have been on the board, and Ben had a deep shot downfield to a wide open Justin Hunter, who had to dive for the ball because it was so badly thrown, and he missed it, and also hurt his hand in the process. So that would have been a wide open, easy touchdown as well. So it should have been 30-0. Instead, it was 23-7. But even still, you feel pretty good about being up 16 going into the half, getting the ball to start the second half. That wasn't the way things played out today. We started off 23-7, but the Chargers came back and outscored us in the second half. I believe it was 26-7. They outscored us and won by 3. They went on a 23-0 run. And then we came back finally and got a touchdown to tie things up at 30-30. And they went ahead and kicked the game-winning field goal. And the Chargers beat the Steelers tonight 33-30. Again, to end the second half on a 26-7 run. This was horrible in a lot of facets. Number one, Big Ben was, I'm not sure if it was a red zone turnover or if it was just coming down to the red zone, but he was on our side of the field, and he threw a bad interception. At one point, he was undershot Vance McDonald when he was getting blitzed and just kind of lollipopped it up. Bad decision. So we once again lost the turnover differential 1-0. 1-0 isn't that bad, but once again, for the several weeks in a row now, we've lost the turnover differential. And I've been saying weeks after weeks, you can't turn the ball over like that, especially against good teams, especially on your side of the field when you're taking points off the board. That could have been 3 or 7 points for us that Ben threw the pick on, that Derwin James intercepted. And Derwin James got a lot of praise tonight by the commentators, and it was well-deserved. He had a heck of a game. He was one of the MVPs for the Chargers. But Big Ben's costly turnover is one thing. Missing somebody like Justin Hunter wide open in the end zone, that's a problem as well. But penalties came back to bite us in the butt again as well. We've been quiet with penalties for the last few weeks, but tonight we had 2 penalties on long plays downfield that got called against us. And rightly so. That stalled our drive. So we're driving down the field. We get 3 or 4 consecutive first downs. We have a big chunk play. Excuse me. I think one was Connor and one was Juju. And both were called back due to holding penalties. One was on Villanueva, I think. And the other might have been on a receiver. I'm not sure. But again, two penalties on moving drives that put us into like 2nd and 3rd and long. At one point after Big Ben getting sacked, it was like 3rd and 29. So we just wound up dumping the ball off and punting it away. So the offense only produced 1 scoring drive, 7 points in the entire second half. They wasted a lot of opportunities. Like I said, even with being up 23-7, they missed 2 opportunities in the first half to score. And then in the second half, they only had the 1 good drive to tie the game once they were down 30-23. So all that time, they did nothing to score. So first half offense, solid, but not great. Second half offense, just really bad. And defensively, for whatever reason, in the first half it was really good. The Chargers only scored 7 points, and that again was on a play that shouldn't have happened. So really, the Chargers didn't score anything in the first half by the letter of the law. Second half, as you can tell by the score, it was pretty bad. We just started breaking left and right. Keenan Allen caught everything on us. I think he had 14 catches tonight for like 158 yards and a touchdown. By the way, his touchdown play should have been intercepted, actually. Joe Hayden had the ball in his hands. Sean Davis came across in the end zone to try and knock the ball out of what he thought would have been Keenan Allen's hands. Actually hit Joe Hayden so hard that Hayden lost the ball, popped up in the air, and Keenan Allen caught the ball. And also Joe Hayden went out on that play with an injury. He came back later, but Sean Davis managed to not only knock the ball out of our guy's hand and injure him, but result in the touchdown for Keenan Allen, who was on fire tonight. Congrats to Keenan Allen. Also, our tackling got really bad in the second half. We did okay in the first half. I think they literally had like no yards to gain on the ground in the first half at all. I think they had like 13 carries for 0 yards. Second half, the third string running back really busted it open. Jackson, I believe is his name. I don't know him coming in. I should, obviously. He's pretty talented, hard runner, very athletic. But this third string guy came in. Melvin Gordon did not play tonight. He was injured. Austin Eckler was hurt a couple of times on and off the field, or was getting breaks for quite a bit. But this Jackson came in and looked very good against us. I think he had 50-something yards and the go-ahead touchdown as well that we eventually tied up, but put them in the lead for the first time in the game. So he looked really good. But our tackling was pretty poor. Defensively in the second half, there's not much good to say. In the first half, Hilton got beat on the faux touchdown that was a touchdown. And obviously, I already talked about the Sean Davis situation. But just in general, we didn't tackle very well whatsoever on defense, and the penalties, of course. Special teams was not much better. Boswell did make his only field goal attempt tonight. He was 1 for 1 on field goal attempts, but he did miss another extra point. So that's a problem. That's been a problem all season for Boswell. I don't know what's going on there, but he missed another one. It may be his 5th one of the season that he's missed. I could be lying about that, but I think it's 4 or 5 this year. Also, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown on us, which was another big part of the rally in the second half for the Chargers. So kick coverage, not very good tonight either. So all 3 phases of the game all looked pretty solid to great in the first half, and very, very poor in the second half. It was the tale of 2 halves. Very much Jekyll and Hyde for us. We, again, for the most part, in the last 3 weeks, we've looked terrible. We rallied in the fourth quarter to beat Jacksonville. We rallied and almost came back to tie Denver and then fell short. And then we had a big lead and blew it in the second half. And then we tried to rally and come back. We came down, Ben drove down and got a game-tying touchdown pass to Jalen Samuels, who spelled James Conner, who went out injured as well. And we don't know his status as of this recording. But Samuels went and scored the receiving touchdown to tie it up. And then San Diego just drove down the field, and Keenan Allen caught several short passes. He just found zones and sat down and caught the ball all around us. He got downfield. He was up and short. He was everywhere. He looked better tonight than Hayden did. Anytime he had Sensabaugh or a linebacker on him, which for some reason he had linebackers on him a lot during this game, and he blew right past those guys like you would expect Keenan Allen to do. So bad calling and decision-making on that as well. So not happy. We did block their field goal, or they missed the field goal to go ahead first, but we were offsides. Blocked it the second time, and then tried to block it the third time. We're offsides 3 consecutive times. Their rookie field goal kicker makes the game winner for the 33-30 win. We now fall to 7-4-1, which puts us now firmly in the 4 seed, as the other 3 teams ahead of us all won today. And the Chargers, of course, in the wild card now beat us. If the playoffs were to start today, it'd be the same exact matchup. It'd be the 4-seed Pittsburgh against the 5-seed San Diego in Pittsburgh. So I don't really want to see them in the playoffs as of right now. But we're sitting in the 4 seed, and we're only a half game ahead of Baltimore right now. And we tied them. We beat them once, they beat us once. So we're tied as far as head-to-head goes. But we're only a half game ahead of Baltimore now. So we are looking at a long stretch here. And we have the Patriots and Saints coming up. So a little nervous about that. Let's get the stats real quick. There's not much good to shout out here. On offense, I'm going to give the rub to one guy. Antonio Brown was the leader today, but let's just go through it real quick. Big Ben, 29 of 45, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Touchdowns looked solid. The one long play extension touchdown to Antonio Brown was great. The clutch fourth quarter touchdown to Samuels was good, but the interception was boneheaded, and Ben looked kind of off. He overthrew a lot of guys. He missed the wide open touchdown, like I said, to Hayward Bay. So he had kind of an average night. Connor started to pick up. He had, I think, 4 or 5 yards, 4 yards of carry here. 15 carries, 60 yards, 2 short touchdowns. Punched it in from short twice, but then he got injured, so we don't know. He came off the field limping in the fourth quarter, did not come back, so we don't know what his prognosis is as of this recording. I hope that he's okay, because Jalen Samuels being the only running back we have besides him, and I guess Switzer would be the second running back, but Switzer went off the field in concussion protocol, and he didn't come back as far as I know. And Justin Hunter also went off and did not return. And we didn't dress James Washington tonight, so 4 or 5 options on offense went out throughout the game. So hopefully both Connor and Switzer are okay. Antonio Brown was our only offensive star tonight. I give him a lot of credit. 10 catches, 154 yards, and a touchdown. He looked amazing. It was his probably most complete game of the year, I think, for me. Defensively, 2 guys I want to shout out that looked extremely good tonight. LJ Ford coming in. They mentioned he's been coming in more in pass coverage. He's one of the better pass covering linebackers we had. He showed it on a play against Keenan Allen. He covered him well one time. 9 tackles on the day for him, and a blocked punt. We had the one good special teams play we had tonight was a blocked punt that we almost lost due to a touch ball. That was a big pileup. But LJ Ford with a blocked punt tonight and 9 tackles. He was our tackling leader. I think he had 6 solos and 3 assisted. He also got several hits. He got a hit in the backfield. He played some coverage. He was all around the ball tonight. He was just a total standout. It was, in my opinion, the best game of his career, and the first time outside of preseason that I've seen him consistently put together a full game. He was on the field a lot, and he showed up tonight big time. I wonder what's going to happen in the future with him, and if he's going to do any replacing of Bostic or of Bud Dupree, who didn't show up tonight and didn't do very much. So good game for him. Also, Terrell Edmonds is my other standout on defense. I really enjoyed him tonight. He's always been a hard hitter, but he's starting to get it a little bit. His coverage still isn't great, but he's around the ball a lot. He's a good ball hawk. He had 5 tackles tonight, as well as a sack. He got a sack on the quarterback. He also got a second quarterback hit that wasn't registered, and he got a big hit after the Chargers came down and tied the game on us. He came back and got a big tackle for a rally. So hard hitting, got a sack tonight, looked really good. Javon Hargrave as well. His stat line didn't stand out too much, but I think this was his 3rd consecutive game with a sack. And on 2 different plays beside that, he pressured the quarterback where he knocked the center on his butt. He was in the backfield a lot tonight. He only got 1 sack and I think maybe 2 tackles total, but he was in the backfield several times. So I really love what he's doing as a pressure man. He's not just stuffing the run. He is pushing his guys off the ball, and he is resetting the line, and he's getting back there. 3 consecutive games with at least 1 sack. Good for Hargrave. The rest of the team, like I said, tackling, penalties, still losing turnover differential. Nobody besides Antonio Brown showed up tonight on as a receiver. Nobody. Lots of injuries are a problem right now. The running game, we didn't run the ball nearly enough. 15 carries for a guy that has 4 yards of carry and is looking pretty good. You got to give that guy more of a rub. So there's a lot of things we got to worry about now. Like I said, being only in the 4th seed now and 1 game, half a game ahead of Baltimore, we've got the Patriots and Saints coming up. So a little nervous about the coming weeks, but we've got to rally. What did you guys think of this game, and what do you think about next week? Tell me in the comments below, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. This has been Football Focus. I'll see you next week.